Welcome to the Interplay exhibition. I'm Alec Robertson, the Interplay Director for the Design Education Trust, responsible for the Interplay competition and exhibition. This video is a summary collation of exhibits from the Cyber-Physical Workshop of the RCA and Imperial College. The student teams were selected from 29 outcomes of the workshop due to the excellent themes of their kinetic designs. They were provided with a complimentary place in the December 2023 exhibition at the Royal Society of Sculptors, along with the Interplay Competition award holders. The video has some amazing devices with kinetic designs, and I hope you enjoy them.
We believe that analog conversation is meaningful. In Korea, there is an expression, 대화가 꽃피다, which means the conversation is blooming. So we got inspired with this sentence and we make this.
So in this art piece, when people talk, seeing the camera, this becomes the one whole flower, which started with the 3 individual flowers. So this means that person, which is individual, became together when they speak and communicate and each other.
So our project is called Finding Your Balance. I think the whole thing started with we were looking at an interesting mechanism that's called a ball balancing on a plate, and then that's the original inspiration. We were looking at it and we're talking about emotional balance. So we thought it was really it's like a comedic approach to think about emotional balance in serious ways. We're linking that back to the mechanism of sort of having a ball that floats in thin air, representing your mood, sort of visualizing really what emotional balance and trying to achieve a balance in real life.
We have 2 systems, and the first system is the ball balance system, like she mentioned. It's like driven by algorithm, and the other input is like human input. So we basically combine 2 systems together to create a chaotic system that has some like possibility to break down, has some possibility to balance. So basically, that's the point we want to address: the possibility of emotional balance.
The idea for this piece comes from, I think, the lives that we lead that are so frantic and busy and all consuming that we don't even really have the time to stop and stay still and just be with our thoughts, emotions, and our body. We decided to work on this piece where you can use different hand poses to essentially control the motion of the kinetic sculpture. And I think like the most important thing is that we wanted to kind of highlight with this piece of ours is that by being still, I think we are able to like observe and take in so much more. That every time you're actually looking at it, you are looking at something different because you've never actually seen that exact sequence of events before, which is why we encourage our audience to stay still and really soak in the piece and appreciate the uniqueness.
So the idea behind this sculpture was to connect technology and nature together. The input is in the form of Bharatnatyam mudras. That is one of the Indian classical dance form. And it expresses, each mudra has their own meaning, so it expresses different meanings to it.
The whole premise of this was really to combine the elegance of nature, that being the performance of a peacock, with the elegance of this Indian dance that uses very complex hand movements. So essentially, you're doing those hand movements, and that input creates specific movement styles on the actual peacock bird itself.
So the Threads of Mora is an installation that tries to recall the intricate delicacies of craftsmanship, especially through knitting. So basically what we're going to do is to put a user interaction close to the action of knitting, which has been done in a cyber-physical system or a robot that is responding to the user. The user will be seeing that there is a white mesh on their face. And this white mesh is basically a program that is recognizing and measuring the distances in the user's face. Then we'll sell it to a machine learning algorithm that will put it into a classification to recognize whether if the gesture is the user being happy, sad, or surprised. Then with that, the colors that are associated to happy, sad, and surprised, and this will pad the thread that's going from this part of the thread, and that will go into a knitting machine that is shown on the right.
That is all kind of an homage to the porcupine and to the world of mammals, where fear is expressed as startled kind of either like neck hair or spikes of the porcupine. That is like the defense mechanism, both visually. So if I attack it really aggressively, I just have to take your hand over here because it takes your hand. It will raise all the spikes. If I open my hands and I'm more gentle, then I can bring them down. Also, we decided to go with a back piece because we realized that people today, they have less and less awareness for their surroundings in a way, so they kind of need something that protects them if something is incoming, and that's more of a fun comment to that behavior. And you see it behaving like an alive animal, right? It has its kind of own life. So it's constantly scanning for danger and tries to react to it. Actually, this very nice pleated fabric, and you can pet it as long as you're gentle.